Most people don't know this about Sylvester Stallone, but he had a dream as a young man to become a big movie star in Hollywood. He longed to become a great director, producer, and writer. But of course, everyone told him it could not be done. But he wasn't one to take no for an answer. And after finding little luck in the New York's film scene, he decided to try his chances in Los Angeles. As luck would have it, his life in Los Angeles was not all sunshine and rainbows. He struggled and strived for a few years in Los Angeles as well. At one point, things got so bad and he was so short on money that he had to take his wife's jewelry and sell it without her permission just to make a few extra dollars. He even went through a short period of homelessness, spending a few nights sleeping on the floor of a bus station. That the worst of his dire straits would be when he had to sell his dog because he could barely keep him fed. Struggle was a way of life for Sylvester Stallone for many years. But he was willing to suffer through barely making ends meet, so long as he could keep taking shots at roles, regardless of the size. He was willing to go through hell so long as there was the potential to fulfill his dream of making it in Hollywood. Fortunately, his trials and tribulations would not last forever. One day after witnessing a boxing match between a virtually no-name boxer, his name was actually Chuck Wepner, who went head-to-head with the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, a brilliant idea came to him. It is said that after he watched this man take on the champ Ali, even knocking him down at one point, and almost going the entire distance of the fight with him, he became inspired by what he felt was a metaphor for life. In fact, he became so inspired by what he saw, that when he got back home from the fight, he locked himself up in his 8 feet x 9 ft apartment for over 3 days straight. And when he finally came out of his apartment, he had completed the script that would eventually come to be known as Rocky. That just having that script in hand didn't mean he was fated to overnight success. No, there were still more obstacles that had to be overcome. The script was written, but Sylvester didn't yet have a backer producer for it. However, his big opportunity would crystallize after wrapping up a casting call for a film he was auditioning for. A film that was being directed and produced by two notable filmmakers, Robert Chardiff and Irwin Winkler. Now, he didn't make the cut during that audition. But, before leaving the set that night, he seized his moment while having conversation with Robert Chardiff and Irwin Winkler. And it was during that conversation that he boldly mentioned his interests in writing along with some of his ideas to the film producers. As fate would have it, they became intrigued enough in what he was saying, that they invited him to stop by their office at a later time so they could learn more about him and his ideas. And as they say, the rest is history. Sylvester Stallone's script won over the two filmmakers, and they decided they would buy the script from him so they could make it into a movie. They offered Sylvester Stallone upwards of $300,000, which was the most money he had ever been offered, let alone seen at that time. But, he knew that if his script would become a success, he would forever regret not going for the lead role. So, he made it a point to star in his own film, realizing that this would be his true shot at achieving success. So, after much negotiating, he would eventually decline upwards of $360,000 for the sale of his script alone. He eventually won out in his negotiations and sold his script for $25,000, but on the condition that he would get to star in the lead role. Sylvester Stallone's calculated risk to forego what was a huge payout at the time for his script has made all the difference in his ultimate success. The Rocky movie has since gone on to become a smash hit, along with a series of related cascading blockbuster successes. Successes that Sylvester Stallone proclaims he could have never imagined in wildest dreams. And it all happened because he had a success ethos of never settling. It happened because he was willing to embrace the pain and suffering of being without, until his vision was realized. He was willing to take on the hits of life, and willing to lose it all to strike it big. And it is because he had a vision of what he wanted, and stuck to it till the end, that he realized his vision, got everything he wanted, and struck it big. Sylvester Stallone now has one of the most sizable net worths in Hollywood. Final thoughts on Stallone's story of success. The great thing about the Sylvester Stallone success story is that it provides us with hope for what is possible. It also provides us with a roadmap of what achieving success, more often than not, looks like. So, use his experiences to prepare yourself for what you must do to achieve your dreams. Let them prepare you for the challenging road ahead. And may they give you hope that the vision you glorify in your mind will come to pass. Lastly, allow this story to help you believe that if you push hard enough, and strive long enough, you will eventually win. As Sylvester Stallone would say, life is an opponent that never stops punching, so you better never stop punching back. Till next time, be informed and inspired.
However, during the subway chase, Power continually outran the American star, who is known for his competitive streak.
You use that bloody American style again here and you'll be barred.
Like you playing English, I play American.
Well, don't play the bloody American game. Get up!
Hey, what kind of game is this? For old ladies and fairies?